Right now we're going to welcome in Chuck Smith, head coach over at Mainland High School Football, and talk about big 27-0 win over Absegami. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Sully, how you doing today?
Pretty good, man. I guess you're in good spirits now. You're off to a 2-0 start, first time since 2009, I believe it was.
Yeah.
We talked in the preseason, and it's been a long time coming. It's only been 2 years or so, but it's been a long process in terms of the rebuild over there and getting the guys to kind of adapt to your style and believe in what you're selling. And talk real quick about that process. I know we spoke about that in the preseason about just how difficult a process it is to get 16, 17-year-old kids to believe in what you're telling them and believing that what you're showing them is going to work.
Yeah, it is tough. It's a long process. You wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. You get, in our situation, you get kids from 3 different communities, 3 different football systems coming in, and all of a sudden they're all one team. And and due to what we had come back a couple years ago, we really went into a rebuilding process right from the get-go. And we saw what it was, and we decided to go with a youth movement 2 years ago and play a lot of kids as freshmen, sophomores. And credit to the kids, they stuck with it. And like I said last night to one of the reporters, the scariest day of my coaching career was the first Monday in December when we had weight room testing.
Yeah.
2 1-win seasons, and I'm sitting there going, we're asking the kids to come in at 5:30 in the morning, which I don't know if I could even come in at 5:30 at that age. And we open the door and there's 30 plus kids waiting to lift. So it's a true testament to their character and what they believe in it, and they want to be that team that finally gets Mainland back on track.
What was that sort of the moment for you? Like you open that door and you see 3 dozen kids standing out there. That must have been great feeling as a coach. Like, okay, we got something to build with here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see the kids, and they have the talent there. It was just, we were playing a lot of young kids, and when you play freshmen, sophomores, I remember an old-time coach when I first started coaching way back said every sophomore you play is a loss. Well, we played a hell of a lot of sophomores and freshmen over the last 2 years. And, but you saw the talent there. You saw the potential there. And you're just waiting for that growth spurt to happen, the weight gain, the muscle mass, getting better, smarter football players, things like that. And, we're starting to see that come around right now. I mean, believe me, we're not there yet. We have a lot of work to do still, but, it's coming towards that way.
I guess that's a tough thing to kind of tell a sophomore when you're throwing them out there in varsity as a need. A kid's 15 years old going up against 18-year-olds with beards, and, to not get discouraged about getting knocked around a little bit.
Yeah, it is tough because the physicality part of football is the thing. And, a lot of times it's a boy going against a young man, and that growth, the difference between a sophomore or a freshman and a senior, a lot of times is extreme. And, but the kids stuck with it. They took their lumps, and now they're, thank God, giving out some lumps.
What's that Friday night feeling like with a win rather than a loss? I mean, it's such a, football you only play once a week, so you only have one chance every week to kind of get that feeling. And I don't know if you're too old to go out and, have some chicken wings at Charlie's after the game or anything like that, but it's got to be a nice feeling walking off.
Chicken wings.
What's that?
There's always room for There's always room for wings. There's always room for wings after a game. But
just that feeling walking off the field, you're getting handshakes. The parents are smiling. The whole community is kind of has a good feeling about itself.
It's funny because I always say, when you're losing, everybody runs away from you, and when you win, everybody wants to, shake your hand. But but it was nice for our home crowd, and to have our first home game and to win it because we had such a big crowd here. And our cheering section, the Corral Crazies, is probably one of the best student sections I've ever seen in South Jersey. I mean, they are just, they're just crazy the entire game, loud, cheering from the beginning to the end, no matter what. Even over the last 2 seasons, they were there supporting us, even though they saw what was happening on the field, but they still stood there and supported us. It was really nice last night just to see the whole student body, the band, everybody together and just cheering. And we had Youth Day and all the youth programs were here last night. So it was a big win all around for us.
I saw a quick video on Twitter of some of the guys dancing around in the locker room, and saw you went back to the old Kelly Green uniforms.
Oh yeah, hey, I'm an old school guy. I'm a traditionalist. And, I went to school here at Mainland way back when, and Kelly Green and White is the way it is here. And, it was kind of like when we decided to move back to the Kelly Green and White, our booster club paid half the cost of the uniforms. We had to go out and fundraise, and the amount of alumni support we got to help that was unbelievable because, they love the Kelly and white also. And it was funny because I don't think we've worn green on green for a home game, and probably I guess since 2010. And I let the seniors pick what they want to wear for the games, with the green shirts, and right away it was overwhelming. They all wanted to go green and green again. So it was nice to see it out there on the field again.
You wouldn't think, with these days and all the cool different uniform combinations and colors, you wouldn't think the kids would be into just straight Kelly green. Yeah,
it is neat. I'm not saying it's the prettiest thing in the world, but I love the color.
Looks a whole lot better on the winning end of a 27-0 score, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I said to the kids last night, I said, hey, it wasn't pretty. We got the job done. Our defense played stellar last night from the beginning whistle to the very end. Offensively we had moments, but we had a lot of mistakes that we got to clean up. But I said to the kids, turn around and look at the scoreboard. Ugly win's still a lot better than the way it used to look on that scoreboard.
We're talking with Chuck Smith, head football coach at Mainland Regional High School here on the South Jersey Sports Report. And, Coach, wanted to talk real quick about a couple of your linebackers. I mean, linebackers are so important in high school football. A lot of times the line kind of cancels each other out, and you're asking those linebackers to make a lot of tackles. You see a guy like Muhammad Torrey at Pleasantville racking up 90-some tackles in a year. Joe Bonchek over at Prep with over 100. So you're asking these guys to do a lot on the field, and talk about guys like Drew DeMorat and Sonny Frazier.
Yeah, I mean, great, smart high school football players. They really are. Sonny and Drew have been playing the last 2 years. Unfortunately for Drew, he missed most of the last season due to a preseason injury.
Right.
Didn't get any playing time till the last 2 games. And Sonny's been a 2-year starter. But, Sonny is a team captain. He's been a team captain for 2 years. Really a true leader, especially in the weight room, getting the kids going and being committed to everything. But they're smart guys. They're both straight A students. They have the instincts, that those little intangibles that you don't coach, they have it. And I think they're both, Sonny is a very good linebacker, getting better every day. And I think Drew has a ceiling that we haven't even seen yet because he's just such an instinctive football player. And his closing speed is unbelievable. But I can't speak enough about their character, especially off the field. They're great people. If you look up student athlete, those 2 kids are the pictures right there.
I love that Frazier kid, man. He's such a just a high school football dude, man. He's not going to say a whole lot. He's just going to get after it every day at practice, and you don't want to be one of those sophomores who's kind of being a little bit lazy in practice. You'll get that stare from him.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't speak much. Neither of them are big talkers.
Right. That's kind of how you want your linebackers.
Sometimes. Yeah, but they both, I mean, especially Sonny, he grew a beard this year. I think it was more of an intimidating thing, But he's got that look. You're right. He doesn't say much, but you look at him, he's a serious guy, and you better do what the heck he's telling you to do.
And I know you were high on Dean Hall last year, and unfortunately you got a pretty tough injury in the first game there against St. Joe's, missed most of the season. Talk about him a little bit, and just seems really has grown into himself as a young man and a lot more confidence. He did a lot in the weight room, got bigger, stronger, faster, and just a really good athlete to have back there at the quarterback position.
Yeah, Dean, I can't say enough about his work ethic. He worked extremely hard last year to get ready, and then has that catastrophic injury in the second quarter of the first game. He's out for the whole year. But you would have never known he wasn't playing because he was out there for practice every day, on the sidelines cheering on his teammates. As soon as he recovered from his injury, he was back in the weight room, pushing it right through. He had an unbelievable offseason in the weight room. And, he's a very smart football player. He's been quarterbacking with us for 3 years now, great leadership qualities, and we just hope the world for him, as we keep going, because we depend a lot on his leadership.
Talk with Chuck Smith, Mainland football coach here on the South Jersey Sports Report. And, Coach, real quick before we let you go, fans are starting to think, whoa, wait a minute, 2-0, we can make something out of this season. How do you keep your guys grounded and saying, okay, we can't start looking ahead to games in late September and October. We got to focus on next week. That's always the challenge when you're talking about high school kids. They start looking ahead. Oh, we got Ocean City late in September, or Clearview late October, Clearview late in September, and you got to say, hey, we got a game this Friday night.
Well, it's been a long time since we've had success here at Mainland. And I think the kids are really honed in on week to week right now. The kids are starting to come in right now to watch film. And once we get done in about an hour and a half of watching the Gammy game from last night, that game's over. That win's over with, and we're moving on to Cherry Hill West, and that's all we're going to worry about from that point forward this week. So the kids are really focused. They have a good mentality of just going one game at a time. We're not good enough yet to say, hey, when we get to game 5, game 6, we're not there yet. We got a lot of work to do, and the kids know that. And they just have a great demeanor about just taking a one game a day approach to the whole season.
Well, Coach, it's great to see you getting off to a hot start. I know you and your staff put on a lot of time over there and a lot of effort, and it's starting to pay off. And good luck the rest of the way. We're rooting for you here, Coach.
Hey, thanks a lot, Sully. I appreciate all you do to promote high school football, man.
No problem, man. Get back to that film room.
Thanks a lot. Take care.